Good evening. Episode 1616. BBL Sports Talk. The Big Boys League. Happy Halloween to everybody out there. Jet's the only one that got the memo on the costume night. Costume episode. Little Dino Jet. A lot to talk about. Going to be a quick episode tonight. We're recording a little late, but we'll get everything squeezed in. All right, before we get into any sports, Jet, go ahead and tell the listeners what you're dressed up as. Who are you?
I'm a cool dinosaur.
What makes
That's
you
the name?
What makes you a cool dinosaur, Joe?
The shades.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we got T-Rex Jet in the house tonight. Going to be a quicker episode 16. Going to dive into the usuals, keep it short and sweet, breaking down the Lions, get into the picks, and then get this out for you guys. So let's just get right into it. Jet, I'm excited to see what you got for us on the hot takes tonight.
Call me asparagus.
Got a couple. Sadly, one of the listeners was ruined. Their hot take was NBA should get rid of the three-point line. And it was on the morning like talking heads. They started talking about it like a day after it was submitted. So this listener was ahead of the times. But I don't want to talk about something that actually was talked about on I forget what talk show it was, but they had like the same hot take. So we're not doing that.
That's
other
insane.
Hot take: the NBA is more fun to bet than the NFL. Watching the NFL.
Oh my God!
Watching the NFL way better, but the NBA more fun to bet. First basket, immediate, instant gratification.
Is this you? Is this your hot take?
No.
It is you, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I'm gonna.
Okay.
No, I don't agree with that at all. You're just on a streak. You're hot right now.
I don't know why. I love watching the NFL. It's such a better product. But the NBA for me, there's just like so much more action.
You do like it.
So many more points. So many more things to bet.
Okay.
Yeah, I also feel like it's like the most like fluky.
That's
It's
where you
so
get the big
fluky.
odds.
Yeah, you do get some juicy odds.
Jet, that is yes, we're outing you. This is Jet's take. No listener submitted this. Jet wanted to get our
Yeah,
take
we
on
knew
this.
it was him right away.
That is crazy.
This
So-
listener's
Ball's
one
king
cool
for me.
guy.
Okay, I will give you this. You have a bit of a case because when I want like a insanity parlay, like turning 5 into 10K, I'm going to the NBA. I'm not going to the NFL because to Stark's point, more fluky stuff happens. And I sent you guys a slip just the other night. I got awfully close on a long shot parlay. And I'm just telling the listeners, I parlayed Tim Hardaway to score 20 with Nikola Jokic to score 40. They both hit. And the last leg I needed was AD to score 40. He had 16 in the first quarter. It was 5 to win 5K, and AD finished with 30. So that sucked. I should have cashed out. I didn't cash out. So I will give you this. If you're looking for that long shot parlay, go to the NBA. But no, I have way more fun betting the NFL. That's just my opinion.
That's because, it was a hot take. Whoever submitted that was hot.
Whoever submitted that, whoever believes that, we respect the take. I can't agree with it personally.
It's fair.
I like
I
it.
don't either.
Oh, I like it. All right, we're gonna keep going on this rapid run episode tonight. We're gonna get into the who's who. No explanations tonight. We're gonna let the listeners decide for themselves. Jet, why don't you kick us off on the who's who tonight?
So easy. Sticking it with NBA. It's just been on my mind recently. Jalen Duren is the Michael Jordan of Sean Kemp's.
Stark.
Jameson Williams is the Jairo Campbell of Terrell Owens.
Okay. Is
Shout out to anyone
Bronny?
who knows who Jairo Campbell is.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to go deep in the bag. You went deep in the bag on that one.
I did.
All right. Is
Joe.
Bronny James the Kamala Harris of Tony Snell's? Think about it.
That one hits hard.
Think about it. All right. Post your who's who in the comments, please. We want to know what the listeners think and who is your who of the week. But that was ours. So some good ones this week.
Shouted out next week on the pod.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If there's any good ones in the comments, we'll absolutely shout it out. But all right, let's get into some preview Lions talk.
Let's go.
All right. Big week for the Lions. Massive week for the Lions. And we're getting to that point in the season. I love this point in the season. Every game just means more. Like the SEC. It just means more. And Lions go to Lambeau this week. Just kind of previewing the game. We don't know Jordan Love's status. We don't know if he's going to play or is it going to be Malik Willis. My honest opinion, I'm a little scared either way. I think this is a tough game for the Lions. It's the first. I did some research on this. First game of the season for the Lions outdoors. They have been in a dome every single game they've played so far this year. First game outdoors in division for first place in the NFC North. So I want to know, here's kind of my question for you guys to get into the game preview. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your confidence level that the Detroit Lions can go into Lambeau and win, continue their streak? They've won the last 5 against the Packers in Lambeau, I believe I read. Is that I might even be fact checked. I saw that on like Fox Sports today. They're on this like hot streak in Lambeau. But maybe 5 is not the right number, but I saw it on Fox Sports Report today. Just the Lions are on a hot streak in Lambeau. Jet, we're gonna go to you first, but start with your confidence level going into this week, and then just preview the game a little bit. Tell us who's your X factor, what's your confidence level, and what are you hoping to see out of Lions this week?
X factor easy. The GOAT of quarterbacks that should be MVP, Jared Goff. His record inside of domes is incredible. I need to get that actual stat for you guys, but I think it was Warren Sharp tweeted like Jared Goff's record in a dome preseason, said to bet him MVP because we have like 13 games in a dome this year. So I know he is a lot better inside, and he will be our X factor if he plays the way he's been playing. I don't think there's a chance we lose. I would say like 7.5 out of 10 confidence in the Lions.
I like it. Stark.
My
Confidence level and X factor.
Super confident. I think they're gonna crush again.
Give us a number.
Score?
No, give us a number. Confidence 1 to 10.
9.5.
I like it.
Even if Jordan Love plays, I think they're a good team, but I don't think I think we'll do to them what we did to Minnesota. It'll be a good game. I don't think when I say crush them, I don't think we're going to blow them out with points, but I think we could control the game with the running game, and those are my X factors. It's Sonic and Knuckles. I'm going to take – those are always going to be X factor, I think, this year. Combine that with the offensive line, and they've done it. I mean, they've been doing it all year. They'll continue to throttle teams and strangle them, and the defense looked pretty good last week. So X Factor, I'm very confident. I mean, how can you not be right now? Malik Willis plays. They're all like, "Oh, he's super good." We'll see about that. I love the Lions. We all know this. I think we all love the Lions. I would never bet against them. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. But this is a spot where I'm seeing people get worried. No. I think this team gets up for division games, so I think they're gonna crush. Dan Campbell, X Factor.
Dan Campbell. See, all right, I thought about making MCDC my X Factor this week because I think this might be one of those games where we need that 4th and 3 fake punt. Give us that first down, go down and get some points. But I'm going to go, if you guys will allow it, my X Factor this week is going to be a position group on defense.
That's fine.
It's the defensive line. Obviously, we know that's the weak point for the Lions. Trade deadline coming up Tuesday. Some rumors out there. I don't know if you guys saw. Zadarius Smith held out of practice today with the trade deadline coming up. Jeremy Fowler reporting that you can get Zadarius Smith for a day 2 pick. Which, day 2 or 3?
I saw today something said 3.
Day 3 pick. We've got those. So, Brad, get on the phone. He's probably up right now working the phones. But I think this game's going to come down to, obviously, Goff plays a role. The running game's going to play a role. But the Lions are going to score points. We know that. They have the best offense in the league. They're going to put points up on the board. Whether it's Love, whether it's Willis, can you manufacture some type of pressure on the QB? And if it's Willis, you got to worry about his legs, which is it's scary. The Lions don't perform great. They haven't, at least, in the Dan Campbell era against dual-threat quarterbacks. So can we keep Malik Willis in the pocket? And then if it's Love, can we get enough pressure on Jordan Love and just don't allow him to be comfortable passing the ball and sitting in the pocket all day? So that's going to be my X factor. As far as my confidence level goes, I'm more on the wavelength with Jet here, with Cool Dino. I'm at a 7. So I feel good. Dan Campbell's going to get the team up ready to play. This is division game on the road at Lambeau. Game of the week. Tom Brady on the call. The entire country's going to be watching. We know the Lions are going to show up to play. But can we get pressure on the quarterback, whoever it is? I think that's what this game's going to come down to. So, and now, is that if the defensive line can just do their job, so Aaron Glenn doesn't have to send blitzers every single snap, then we're going to be in a good position. But if we've got to send extra guys, that's where I start to get worried. So my X factor, as long as you guys will allow it, is the defensive line in this game.
I like it.
All right. I want to talk a little bit more about the game before we get into the picks, but I just have to bring it up. Did you guys see the Jamo news? See the body cam footage? How worried are you? Okay. So just to give our listeners some background here. October 8th, Jamo's in Detroit with his brother. He gets pulled over. He's got a gun under the seat. His brother's got a gun as well in the car. They're up front. They tell the cops, we've got guns in the car. They've got the proper paperwork. They own those guns. The guns are clean. The issue is Jamo does not have his CPL. His brother does have his CPL. So it's a little bit of a gray area, and I've done some legal research on this. I've listened to some lawyers talk about this. There's a bit of a gray area. Does Jamo's brother's CPL cover Jamo's handgun that was in the car? Now, the cops ended up letting Jamo go, but Channel 7, Channel 7, I'm just going to throw that out there. We are anti-Channel 7, whatever frickin' news network that is in Detroit. Shame on you. They found out about this story and put pressure on the police department of why did you not arrest this guy? And now the police department is looking back into why they didn't arrest him and could issue a warrant for Jamo's arrest for this gun charge. So here's what I want to talk about real quickly, because I've seen some crazy things in Detroit media. about trade Jamo before Tuesday, get rid of him. A lot of Detroit fans, more than I expected, saying that get Jamo out of town. I want to know your thoughts, and does it change your opinion on Jamo at all? And Jet, let's start with you.
Nope, Waymo's the GOAT and cool dino lawyer. Double jeopardy. He already got off once. Can't try him again. So nice try, Channel 7.
He does have a law degree. Cool dino, JD. Stark?
I don't think this. I mean, he should have a gun. He's a celebrity that lives in Detroit. Probably should have something to protect himself. But here's my thing. He went to a Halloween party dressed in a jumpsuit. It's almost like he's like, fuck you, I got away. I love him. I've loved him for a long time. Guy's got to grow up a little bit. He's got to stop. I need to stop seeing his name in the news like this. I need it. I need to stop. It needs to stop. You can't gain momentum in a career when this shit keeps happening. So whether or not it was like it should have happened or not, I mean, it's always something. I feel like it's always something with him. So I love him. I want him to grow up a little bit, be a professional, do what you have to do to, like, just don't get in trouble. It's always happening. It's nonstop. And I love him. And I want him to just be great. But, God, every time I swear to God, everything always comes crumbling down with him, whether it's an injury or something stupid outside or suspension. It's always something. So please stop. We love you. We need you on the field.
Yeah, my take is kind of twofold here, and I'm with Stark. Like, if you look at the gun charge, this potential gun charge in a vacuum, like I actually, it's a gray area. I think he's going to get off. I don't think this is an issue. I don't think he did much wrong. But in the same sentence, like, dude, just you have to understand kind of who you are and what is on the line, and it's time to grow up. I think the Halloween costume, being in a jumpsuit, like, a little immature. We need to grow up a little bit, and let's start reading some Jamo news regarding football and not things that are happening off the field. But with that being said, I'm the biggest Waymo fan there is. I've got his jersey. I trust him 1,000%. I trust the leadership in with the Lions to mentor him and help bring him up and get him into the culture that they have in that locker room. And I think, Dan Campbell, I really like the analogy that Dan Campbell used when he talked about this. And I don't know if you guys saw, but, Jamo coming in with his injury and coming in with the gambling suspension. Now the PES suspension and with this gun charge, it's like they're a team and they've got this rope and the entire team is climbing up the rope. And Jamo just keeps falling down the rope and then having to climb his way back up and work his way back up to be with the rest of the team. And Dan Campbell said, he's like, I trust this kid, and he's going to climb back up. He's going to join us. It's just going to take a little bit of time and a little bit of work. So, yeah, I mean, long term, I'm not worried about it. If anyone in Detroit is saying to ship him off and let's trade him and he's not worth it, you're insane. I said this last week. He's a one of one. There is not another wide receiver in the NFL that can do what Jamo does. There's guys that can emulate it, and you look at the Tyreek Hills with the speed and some of these other big body receivers. But Jamo is a one of one, and if you are in the boat of get Jamo out of Detroit, you shouldn't be listening to this podcast. See ya.
We don't want you. Good riddance.
Sayonara. All right, we're gonna make official picks on this game in a second, but is there anything else that you guys want to touch on kind of going into this game? Any stats or anything that you're keeping your eyes on? Maybe a player that we're not thinking about that we should look at betting line wise.
This is running back.
I got nothing.
Both running backs score a touchdown for the Lions. It's always a lock.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's and Demo has had some great games against the Packers as a Lion. So I like Demo.
They run all over him.
I hope they run all over him. But I'm throwing this out, kind of an obscure touchdown scorer. I got my eyes on Tim Patrick anytime touchdown scorer this weekend. I think Tim Patrick last week was like the Khalif Raymond show, but that came in special teams. That did not come in the offense, and the Lions didn't even have a chance to get into their offense the way that they beat the Titans last week. I think Tim Patrick could have a big game. He's been stepping up, getting a bigger role game after game after game. I really like Tim Patrick. I'm looking at his yards, but specifically I'm looking at him to score a touchdown. They get down in that red zone. Packers have a fantastic defensive line. It's going to be tough to punch it in the run game when you get down in the red zone. Tim Patrick's that big body receiver that Goff can just throw it up to. So keep your eyes on a Tim Patrick anytime touchdown scorer this weekend, gents.
I got my eyes on it.
All right. With that being said, let's move into the picks. All right, we're going to start college football as we always do. I got to apologize to the listeners. This is the first thing I got to do. I had a rough week gambling last weekend. I shouldn't say that. I had a rough week on my BBL picks. I had a good weekend gambling in my bank account. I had a rough week with my BBL picks. So just a quick update. I went 1-4. Stark, you went 3-2. Jet, you also went 1-4. So rough week for us in college football, but a big bounce back. Season long, I am sitting at 27-18. Jet, you're 25-20. Stark, you're also 25-20. So we got a tight race, folks, coming down the stretch here. We are going to start in Ann Arbor. Wolverines coming off of a massive win against the Spartans. Jet, I'm sorry. I know you had your heart broke last Saturday night. Davis Warren throwing some darts out there. Alex Orji coming in, running the ball like a man. Number one team in the country coming to town. Oregon at Michigan. Oregon laying 15.5. Stark, you're going to kick us off with picks tonight. Who are you taking?
I'm going to take Oregon. Letdown spot, big emotional game. This screams a blowout, Oregon, and then reality strikes back. Adam, I have a feeling you're on the opposite side of me, but
Jet.
You can go, Adam. You go.
I'm taking Oregon. Jet.
I'm also taking Oregon. Michigan just won their Super Bowl. Biggest game they'll probably ever win. Yeah, they're going to get blown out.
Oh, all right, look. It wasn't Michigan's Super Bowl, but I'm not letting a Michigan squeaking a win out against Michigan State make me think that this team is back. Oregon is the real deal. That is why I'm taking Oregon. All right, we're going to stay in state. The Spartans, massive game for the Spartans at home. They get the 13th ranked Hoosiers. Probably the surprise in college football. Definitely the surprise of the Big Ten. Undefeated, they have not had a game closer than 14 points yet this season. Indiana undefeated, going into East Lansing, 7.5-point favorites. Joey, Jet, Lee, who you like?
Dude, Indiana looks so good. I think it's disrespect that they're only 13. Like, they're a top 10 team. They should
Agreed.
They should be in the college playoff talk. What's their quarterback's name? Rourke?
he's out. The guy named Taven Jackson.
He had thumb surgery. He's back 1 week later. Back 1 week after thumb surgery.
Grit.
What a grinder. That is grit. Give me the Spartans. But that's a homer pick. I'm being completely honest. I could not bet against them now. I want to see this so bad. I want to see upset alert. I want to play Purdue this year and not actually play Purdue. I want to be like them and just for no reason should we win this game, but who knows? Maybe we get a surprise cover.
So you want to be a shitty team that might win a good game, not just a shitty team?
Yeah, no, I want to play
All
Purdue.
right, I was
Precisely.
making sure that's clear.
I was clear on who we were at the beginning of the season. I did not think we were going to be good, but they are fun to watch. Marsh is a dog. Childs is occasionally a dog. And don't get excited about Davis Warren. I bet his under on passing yards last week. It was 140, and that hit.
He was throwing darts, dude. Darts.
A win's a win.
And don't forget about his life story. Stark, who you got?
I'm not taking Michigan State. Remind me who they're playing again. I don't know why I forget names so much.
Indiana.
Indiana. I'm taking Indiana. Indiana's very good. I take them every week, and they smash their cover or their spreads. If Rourke, I didn't know Rourke was back. That also changes things. Michigan State's not the worst team. I'll admit it, but I think Indiana's very good. So I think this could be a spot where like Indiana might get smacked. I'm sorry, Michigan State might get smacked. And it kind of propels Indiana into like the real okay. Because I agree, I've been watching them every week. What's their coach's name?
Signetti.
Yeah, he's a psychopath. He likes to cover spreads, I think, too. So, Indiana all day long here. 7.5 doesn't feel like it's enough points.
All right, I can't believe I'm doing this. Everything inside of me wants to go Indiana here. But this game, Indiana's on the road. They've gotten most of their big matchups at home this season. 7.5, they can win by a touchdown and still not cover. State is putting it together. That run game looks scary. Last week against Michigan, that offensive line got pushed against a much better defense, in my opinion, in Michigan than they're going to face in Indiana. I don't think Michigan State wins the game, but I think this game is closer than 7.5, so I'm going to take MSU in the points in this one. All right, we go to Big Noon Kickoff. The greatest broadcast on Saturday. 5.5-hour-long games. You got Joel Klatt and Gus Johnson on the call. They're in Happy Valley. Ohio State at Penn State. Drew Aller questionable. We don't know if he's going to play yet, if he's going to go. Ohio State laying 3.5. I'll go ahead and go first here. Give me Ohio State. Jet.
Ohio State.
Start.
You've bet against Penn State every week.
He loves the Nittanies. Fun fact about
battle
Stark,
of the
when
biggest
Stark was
fraud
11,
coaches.
when Stark was 11 years old, he went to a Penn State football camp. Spent some time in the locker room.
I did. Yeah. I got a big compensation for all that. Worth it. I am going to take the Nittany Lions this week.
Shocker.
Dude, Ryan
All right.
Day is trash. This is his last season at Ohio State.
You might be right. When they lose to Michigan, you might be right. I think he might get fired that same
Where
day.
do you got?
All right. See, I'm going in the other direction. I am taking Ohio State because James Franklin can't have his team ready to play in games like this. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I trust the man who sharpies a beard on his face every morning over James Franklin. All right.
Can I put a clause in that if Aller's out, can I switch?
No.
Can I get more points? Can I get the spread at the time?
No.
Then I'm switching. I want Ohio State.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I want Ohio
I think
State.
that's the first flip-flop we've ever had. I like that.
That is the first flop. All right, we go to the SEC. Texas A&M coming off a massive win at home against LSU. They are undefeated in SEC play, in control
Haven't lost since first week.
in control of the SEC. They look really good. They made that quarterback change middle of the game against LSU, and offense just came alive. They traveled to South Carolina, only 2.5-point favorites at night in South Carolina. Stark, which side do you like in this game?
Ooh, this is tough. I like South Carolina. Give me South Carolina. They're getting 2.5 points.
They're getting 2.5.
I'm going to be different.
Jet?
I'm taking South Carolina. Great defense. I think and hope it's Lenore Sellers still playing quarterback for them because he's electric. Take South Carolina.
Jetty punch.
You're a bad gambler if you bet Texas A&M in this game. It's got to be South Carolina. It just has to be South Carolina.
I'm with the cool dino, and I'm with Stark. This is my rat line of the week. And what do we do with rat lines on this podcast?
You bet them.
We bet them. Not only am I taking the 2.5, give me South Carolina at home, night game. The boys will be ready to play. South Carolina money line, and Texas A&M gets their first SEC loss. All right, we haven't had an Ole Miss game in a while, but we're gonna pick Ole Miss this week. They go on the road.
My favorite team in NCAA football is Ole Miss.
Ty, I'm sorry. You're probably watching this. Dude, what in the hell is going on with your football team?
What a sad program.
We had massive expectations on this podcast at the beginning of the season, and Ole Miss has just not lived up to them. Me too. They were my pick to win the SEC. They were my pick to win the SEC. I believe – no, they weren't Jets' pick to win the Natty, but
they were. They were my pick to win the Natty. And Jackson
they were Jets' pick to win. I had Jackson Dart Heisman as well. See, I was in the same boat as Jet. I bought into the hype, which is why I said this a couple weeks ago. Lane Kiffin is the Ed Orgeron of James Franklin's. He somehow gets a pass. James Franklin doesn't. They do the same things. They're the same coach, but Franklin is under constant pressure, and Lane Kiffin somehow gets a pass. But Ole Miss travels to Arkansas. They're laying 6.5 on the road. I'll go first in this game. Ole Miss has not covered in like 3 weeks. They don't look good. Something is wrong. But with that being said, this just feels like one of those games. They're going into Arkansas, an inferior team, a lot of noise around the program. This feels like one of those Lane Kiffin run it up late, cover the spread late in this game to prove a point. I'm going to take the sip in this one, but I hate it. Jet?
I love it. Route start to finish. We'll sit by 40.
Stark.
I'm taking Arkansas. Ole Miss is not playing good, and Arkansas's quarterback, Taylor Green, is electric. And you know my rule. I want to take a team that has an electric quarterback. And I'm not going to say he's the better quarterback, but I think he's a quarterback that can keep him in the game for sure. He runs the ball well. He's big. He's fast. He throws the ball pretty well. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, I think they cover this spread. If he turns the ball over a couple of times, they'll have a hard time. But no, I like Arkansas. I think they're sweet. I absolutely love Taylor Green, so give me Arkansas.
Start going with the Hogs. All right, let's move over to the NFL. Quick little update for everybody on the NFL. A bad week for me as well. I went 2-3. Stark, you also went 2-3. And Jet, you had yourself a week in the NFL. You went 4-1. And your only loss was the Bears. You were that close from a 5-0 sweep on the board. Unbelievable. That was our BBL lock of the week. We were sick to our stomachs about that. To the listeners, I don't even know what to say at this point. It's like everything we touch and put out BBL lock of the week, it's like we're cursed. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. But on the season, I am 19-16. Stark, you're 15-20. Jet, you have taken the lead in NFL picks at 20-15. And just so listeners know, Jet did start this season 0-5 week 1. So just want to put that out there. All right, let's start where we always do with the Thursday night game. We actually get somewhat of an exciting Thursday night football game this week. The Texans travel to MetLife to play the Jets. Stephon Diggs out for the year, ACL tear. Doesn't look like Nico Collins is going to play. He technically could be back this week. I don't think he's going to be, though. I think more than likely he'll be back.
I think he's out.
Potentially next week against the Lions. Is he officially out? Did they announce that?
I believe so. I don't think he's been activated yet.
Okay. The Jets are 1.5-point favorites at home. I'll kick us off here. Rat line. Why are the Jets favored in this game? Even without Diggs, even without Nico Collins, Houston is a much better football team. And normally on a rat line, what do? I take the rat line. But the amount of times this season I have taken the damn rat line on the Jets, and they do not cover the spread. I'm done. Aaron Rodgers is high on ayahuasca and whatever that else he takes, like whatever the hell he's taking. Give me Houston to win this game. Jet.
Jets, 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 Jets. Dude, I'm addicted to betting them. I swear. I love watching them lose horribly and me have money on them for some reason. It happens every week. I've been taking them every week just with you. Like, I don't know what it is, but give me them again. For some reason, I feel like the defense gets it together. Stroud has not had a good year. Like, I drafted Stroud in every one of my fantasy leagues. I love this Texans offense, and he has not looked that good. So give me the Jets in a close one.
Stark.
I'm going to take the Texans. I think the Jets are broken. I think Aaron Rodgers broke them if they weren't already broken. Joe Mixon, man, I'm telling you, he might be the best back in the league right now. So I'm going Houston. Tank Dell has a big game.
All right. We go to Sunday. Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers go to Cleveland, coming off of a massive win at home against the Ravens. Jameis Winston, shout out to the boy. He might be my favorite NFL player of all time. I freaking love Jameis Winston. Chargers laying 1.5 on the road. Cleveland are home dogs. I will go first here. I am buying the Jameis Winston hype. I think they win this game outright, and I think they go 2-0 with Winston at the helm. Give me the Browns. Jet.
If BBL touched it, it's shit. I think that ever since the hot take of the week of the Chargers should be a Super Bowl favorite, they've looked awful. They won last week, but they played the Saints, who have looked atrocious. I don't think the Chargers are good, and I am also a Jameis fan. So give me the Browns.
Stark. Make it a sweep.
Oh, I hate the sweeps, but also a big Jameis guy. I love Cedric Tillman, who thank God he finally has an opportunity because holy shit, he looks good. Caught that 38-yard touchdown last week and like a 22-yarder. He's awesome. Baldy on Twitter calls him the Skywalker, which is like such a sick nickname to get. Give me the Browns. I think Jameis is for real. Weird situation with why he was an emergency backup when he looked significantly better than the other two quarterbacks that have played. So maybe investigate that. Something's weird there. I mean, he is so much better than Deshaun Watson and DTR. And the fact that he was their emergency quarterback, if I was an NFL team right now and I was desperate, I would call and say, what do you want for Jameis Winston right now? Because he looks good. And I like the quarterback that rips the ball downfield and gives awesome interviews. This is so funny.
That pregame interview was like, it's up there. I mean, there's some great Jameis interviews. That was up there. All right, let's go to Atlanta, hosting the Cowboys. Atlanta laying 2.5 at home. I fell into the trap last week, and I bet the Cowboys on the road.
You both
in San
forgot that the Lions had played them because they had a bye week in between. But that Lions hangover was still in effect.
It was still in effect, and that's on me. And I fell into the damn Cowboys trap. And I'm doing it again. This is an absolute must-have. Gotta have it this week for the Cowboys. I think they actually match up pretty damn well with the Falcons. I think the Falcons are fraudulent. They're one of those kind of fringe good teams that their record is much better than what they really are, in my opinion. So I'm going to take the Cowboys plus the points here. Jet.
Falcons win. Mike McCarthy receives a hand in the mailbox from Jerry Jones, and with a note that says, "You're fired after the season. Ben Johnson is your replacement."
Would make me sick.
The Cowboys are going to get beat by Kirko Chains. Yeah, give me the Falcons.
Stark.
I'm big on the Falcons. I don't think they're fake. I think that offense is really good. A lot of weapons. I remember watching clips of Darnell Mooney when he was on the Bears, just like being wide open all the time, but like they were never able to hit him with the ball. He is open all the time. If you watch them play, he's on my fantasy team. He's open always. And Pitts is playing good now. Kyle London's awesome. Bijan looks good. They're clicking. Yeah, give me Atlanta. I think this is like a big win for them here. Statement game for Atlanta. And Dallas sucks.
I either look like a genius or the biggest idiot of all time taking the Cowboys this week. So we will see. We'll check back in next week. All right, let's go to Lambeau, the game of the week. Don't listen to what anyone else is saying. Lions at the Packers. As of today, Lions laying 3.5. Don't love that line. Would like to see it at 2.5. But I have a feeling where we're all going to land on this one. I have picked against the Lions once this year. And to be fair, it was Tampa Bay. They lost that game. And look, they were laying two. It was just too many points for me. I couldn't be comfortable.
Yeah.
With that being said, the Lions are rolling right now. Give me the Lions minus 3.5. Jet?
Same game as last year in Lambeau. I think we run it down their throat, and maybe they score up a couple points late, but no, I think we rout them.
Start.
Lions.
Like it. All right. Last game of the week, Monday Night Football. The Tampa Bay Fighting Buccaneers. Cade Otton, got him on my fantasy team. What a freaking week last week. Lost. I'll throw that out. My team did not win. But I do have Cade Otton. They go to Arrowhead playing the Chiefs. Chiefs laying 8.5. I am going to continue to bet against the Chiefs until I win one. They have to lose a game, and they have to lose against the spread at some point. I think this is the week. Give me Tampa Bay. Jet.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what it is. It pisses me off because nobody on the team's playing that well. I would say outside of maybe their defense and
Their defense is good.
Their offensive line looks pretty good for the run game. I think Kareem Hunt's good, but dude, Kelsey's having his worst year ever. Mahomes is having his worst year ever. They didn't throw a touchdown pass, I don't think, up until last game in the month of October. So it's dude, I don't know how they're doing it. Also, Patrick Mahomes is favorite to win MVP. This is his worst year ever. It's pissing me off. With
Little
that,
Mahomie.
give me the Chiefs. Minus 8.5.
Little Mahomie of you. Stark. Who you riding with? Cool Dino or?
That Dino is really fucking cool, but I'm gonna go with the. I'm gonna go with the Dino. Give me the Chiefs.
Damn.
I think the Chiefs' defense is the best part of their team, and that's why they're winning. I don't think. Again, this is one of those teams that, in my opinion, if you're a good defense, there's one stat that matters, and maybe I'm way wrong here. It's points against. Do you give up points or do you not? And I don't think the Chiefs give up many points. I looked today. I think it's 24 is the most. Everything else is under 20. It's incredible. You're going to win a lot of games with that. If they figure it out, they're going to be terrifying. I don't like this talk I'm seeing of the Ravens are the Chiefs' biggest competitor. Eye test. Who's a better team? The Chiefs are getting lucky. They have the freaking refs at their back all the time. I can't stand them, but that's why I'm taking them. I'm sick of it. So the Bucs, Baker's awesome. Their offense is good, but I could see this being a touchdown game, and then at the very end, Chiefs kick a field goal, and then cover the spread. That's my prediction.
All right, gents. This might be our fastest pod ever, which we set out to do. In closing, as we wrap up, any closing remarks, any shout-outs you guys want to give to the listeners?
I got a shout-out.
I'm concerned about the state of the Red Wings. I was there tonight. They did not look good. They did play Winnipeg. They're gonna have. Here's a hot take for you guys. Anyone who likes the Red Wings, I think it's time to fire the coach. I'm not ready to say get rid of Yzerman, but they looked so bad tonight, and they've lost 3 straight. So expectations are high for our Red Wings, but I think it's time to fire Lalonde. He's a bald worm.
Chet, who's your shout out of the night?
Shout out to NFAB.
Shout out NFAB.
I don't know what that is, but shout out NFAB. Shout out to the Dodgers for proving to win in baseball. All you got to do is spend money. So
Did they win
won
tonight?
the World. Yeah, they won the World Series tonight. And guess what? I don't give a shit. You spent half a freaking $1 trillion to do it, so screw you. Screw the Yankees. America lost in the World Series this year.
That's Japan's title, if anything. You know, is that where they're from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give that title to Japan. That's not an American title.
All right. With that being said, thank you actually to all the listeners. Hopefully you guys enjoy the quick episode tonight. Shout out to the cool Dino. He's the only one that got the memo to come in costume tonight. We will have this posted bright and early Thursday morning. So if you're listening to it Thursday morning or sometime this weekend, we appreciate it. Like, subscribe, throw some comments. Throw your hot takes so Jet doesn't have to make up his own BS hot takes.
Good hot take this week, listeners. And also, fun fact, it is Thursday morning right now.
This guy knows how to read a clock.
To our listeners, it's 12 in the morning. We all have to work tomorrow. We do this for you. I have 27 children in costumes coming into my classroom at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So this is for you guys.
This is how hard we work for 20 views on YouTube. So we appreciate you guys. All right, with that
send it
being
to your
said,
friends, please. People that listen, send it. Send it to people. Send it to everybody you know. Your grandmother, your father, your sister, your cousin, your aunt.